Hey guys, this is Eugene from Life CEO again, inspiring you to take actions to fulfill all aspects of life. Today in this video, I just want to very quickly share with you the benefits of starting your own business online in your 20s and what motivated me and my business partner Evan to decide to start on this journey. With the internet marketing on YouTube, which is something that we have never imagined ourselves doing before. And so I am going to talk about four main reasons that really got us going and devoted a lot of our time into this online marketing thing, and why we think everyone should be starting an online business and try to make a presence online when they're in their 20s. Okay, so of course, before I start, if you're new to our channel, welcome to Life CEO. This channel is all about me and Evan. We are on this journey in exploring, fulfilling, and eventually winning in every aspect of our lives. So one of the most important aspects that we are focusing on right now is creating our own business online. We understand that there might be difficulties or reasons that might stop you from pursuing your dream of being your own boss and start your own business. So we hope that we can encourage you guys by putting up content, videos to share with you our experiences and how we were able to get a head start over other people. So if you guys are interested, being alongside with us in this journey, definitely subscribe to our channel. It will mean a lot to us, and we'll be pushing out more valuable content just for you guys. All right, so let's begin and let's get right into today's topic. So you know how people usually say that when you are in your 30s, by the age of 35 or older, you're more likely to start a successful business because by your mid 30s, you should be in a position where you are more financially stable and you can self-finance your business. Now, of course, there aren't any boundaries or limitations in terms of the proper age to start a business. Especially nowadays, we're seeing more and more young entrepreneurs starting to work full-time for themselves. And honestly, there is a reason for that. So the first reason that I think we should start our own business online in our 20s is because it is easier for us to bounce back when we fail at a young age. We now live in a world where new online businesses, like, they're born and got created like every single day, because it's so easy to start a business thanks to the technology that we have. But we gotta admit that out of those many businesses that got started, not every one of them will become successful and make money, right? Even if you have this brilliant idea, you implement on it and you take actions to make it happen. But the thing is, not every idea is going to be a winner. Of course, nobody plans a business from the beginning just to expect it to fail. But sometimes, like in life, things don't go the way that you expect or you could control, and business does crash and fail. Yeah, so take myself an example. I started my first company in Korea like around 3 or 4 years ago. At that time, I was preparing to do something big in the market by bringing in a foreign product that I thought was very, very advanced and would solve lots of people's pain point in the market. So I had the right connections. I even partnered with a well-known online marketing agency back then to help me get started properly and be ready to make an impact. But at the end, I realized that the Korean market wasn't ready for it, and a lot of the Koreans didn't find it convenient to use the product. And later on I realized that there are other competitors whose prices are much more competitive and attractive compared to mine. So it was my fault. I should have done my market research more thoroughly, and I learned a lot from these mistakes. But it's because of these mistakes that led me to starting to rethink about how I should do my business, and eventually switching a lot of my business to online, mostly to digital products now, where I know I will be able to reach a wider audience and more potential customers without having to worry, like my customers say that they don't like my product or whatever. So anyways, every mistake we make is progress, and it gives us the opportunity to learn and grow. And it is okay to make these mistakes, right? Especially when we're just starting out in our 20s, because realistically, we don't have the financial responsibilities or commitments, so to speak, that we would have, when we're like 30s or 40s, where we might have a family, where we have to constantly think about our kids or children in everything that we do or every decision that we make. Or maybe our wives might be against the idea of us continue to venture after failing many times, right? So when you're in your 20s, it is easier for you to just focus on yourself, focus on how to get better in the business that you do. And you can easily learn that from the internet, where you basically have access to a lot of the information, a lot of the successful examples that you can look up to and model off from. And more importantly, allows you to even communicate directly with people or mentors who have that experience and are willing to help you. That's why we have online communities and Facebook groups, to help beginners when they're lost and when they don't know what to do when they're struggling. Okay, and that leads us to the second reason why I think we should start our business online in our 20s, and that is for a much faster personal growth as an entrepreneur, or as a person who does business, because we constantly need to be learning, modeling off, and communicating with many entrepreneurs or internet marketers online who share similar visions. This really helps us develop and mature much faster, because we look up to those people who are already successful, and inside our mind, we tell ourselves that we want to be just like them. So we start to act and think like our mentors by constantly listening to the podcasts or online courses, right? And when we start doing our own business, whether it's offline or online, it's true that it's easy to start, but is it easy to make big bucks like right out of the gate? Definitely not. And we will run into millions of problems or issues on the way, but each problem that we have to deal with is a lesson for us. And being introduced to them at an early stage of life will never harm you, because they prepare you to become a wiser and a more mature person with more experience and a more stable mindset sooner, which is always a good thing in my opinion, because then you truly learn to take responsibilities and make better decisions whenever you have to, even at a young age. Okay, moving on to reason number 3. So the third reason why I think we should start our own business online in our 20s is, I'm sure everyone agrees with me on this, that you can basically run your online business from any corner of the world as long as you have access to the internet. Now, Of course, I'm not saying that, oh, just because you get to work with your laptop on a beautiful beach in, let's say, Phuket or in the Philippines or wherever, and things will become easier for your business. No, like no matter which country you're in, you're still going to go through different challenges that every businessman or entrepreneur faces. But it is true that you are not confined to only work in a certain area or office where you are required to arrive there in time by 8 or 9 every morning. Okay, as a online marketer, you have the freedom to choose any location where you want to work at any time. Okay, and that's why we see so many internet marketers out there showing us how they're able to run the business while traveling around the world. I mean, it is possible, and this is something rather difficult if you are an employee or you work in a corporate, because it's just hard to leave your work and go travel, right? Let's say you want to go to Europe, but to do so, I would say you need at least a month to truly enjoy the time and explore many different places there. And unless you quit your job, otherwise it's like almost impossible for you to take so many days off, just for your own vacation. So I think if we start this in our 20s, we'll be able to benefit from working while traveling, because as you get older, once you're in your 30s or 40s, like even, you won't necessarily have the same freedom that you would have in your 20s because of, again, like more responsibilities and a commitment to your family. And so because of that, like I've been thinking, like honestly, I'm kind of regretting that I am in my late 20s now and I'm not traveling and seeing the world enough. So one of my goals by the end of this year is to travel to more countries, and hopefully I'll be able to travel with Evan, do this for Life CEO, so that we'll be able to show you guys more amazing videos as we travel. And finally, for the last reason that I think we should start our own business online in our 20s is to start preparing for financial security, or the more commonly used term, financial freedom. Again, like take myself an example. For the trading business that I've been doing, it is a fun business, but after a while, I realized that this is not something that I will be able to do long term, because there are a lot of costs involved. For those of you who do trading, like the ever increasing rent, shipment, and cost of labor. All these that I need to take into consideration and factor into my profit margin, from each transaction. And the margin is actually very tight. And unless the product that you're doing is a real necessity, or it is very, very hot and trendy, and they're being sold in large volumes, like otherwise you're not really making a lot of profit. And even if it's a very, very trendy product, like nowadays trends tend to change so rapidly, and that forces us to constantly go and look for sourcing of other products that we think have the potential to sell well in the market, and sometimes we're wrong. So yeah, overall dealing with physical products, and it's not easy, and sometimes I would say actually very frustrating. Okay, I always tell Evan that, we gotta find a type of business that we can earn more profits, we can have more control in the business that we do, and do it more efficiently with more ease. And that's like a turning point for both of us in our career, to start focusing more on the online side, the online part of our business. An online business generally has lower overhead costs compared to your traditional offline brick and mortar business. So definitely less of a financial commitment, especially for young entrepreneurs. Like think about like e-commerce and or internet marketing is something that people can easily just get started with, like right out of college. And you can even do it with your friends or partners so that you can share the cost together, right? And the important thing about an online business is that you can scale up the business without relying anyone else. You can do it yourself, and the online business can be developed into different multiple sources of income and revenue that are stable and eventually come in nearly autopiloted. Especially in the year of 2019 and very soon 2020, there are a lot more ways for people to create online businesses and potentially earn 6-figure, 7-figure, or even 8-figure in a year. And again, because this is not something that is going to happen like right away, or like just because you start your business today and you want to make a lot of money and you suddenly get rich overnight. It doesn't work that way, right? So when you get started and kind of like get your feet wet at first in your 20s, you're going to go through a few ups and downs, right? Learning your lessons, getting more experience, and finally get to the point where you have several income generating assets that will continue to earn money for you. And by the time you are in your 30s, like you are pretty much set. I mean, like more importantly, you have that freedom to explore new ventures and new opportunities, whenever you get the chance. People always ask what is financial freedom. To me, that is financial freedom. To be able to have the freedom to just go ahead and explore new ventures or new business opportunities without having to worry the amount of money or like exactly how much you need to invest in. Yeah. So, billion investor Warren Buffett once said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. And he's absolutely right. And honestly, I don't want to work until I die. So the thing is, like, even if we're just in our 20s, it is time to start thinking about alternative sources of income that we can create before we're physically too weak or incapable of working, right? So the earlier we get started, the earlier we will have control of our financial future, and hence getting the financial freedom that everyone always talk about, right? And online business, like what we're doing right now, is something that everyone, whether in your 20s or not, be able to get started right away without having to bear too much of a financial burden. And honestly, I see no excuse to not start your business online, especially if you truly want something else outside of your regular 9-to-5 job. Yeah, so hope you guys get a lot of value in this video. Let us know in the comments below what you think are the factors or reasons that are preventing people from doing or starting their own business online, and whether you think it's a good idea to start your own business online in 2019. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that bell icon to be notified whenever we upload new videos in the future. So see you in the next video, and good luck all my life CEOs. Take care.